Tale. The Legend of Voyager. Chapter 1. The Sepulchre. Events during the second night after the funeral ceremony of the Dacian King Diurpanus. The novel is suitable for adults. There are no swear words or vulgarities. High fantasy historical literature. The first chapter contains crude descriptions of creeping corpse immersions. A frightened cricket swallows its last chirp. The sacred esplanade, illuminated by the full moon of the fires, is traversed by a long howl. The 7 soldiers, guarding men ready to fight and die, maintain their lonely post, though a growing, unifying restlessness pervades them, causing a tingling sensation from their nape down to their loins. They do not see each other, but the cautious posture is similar. They look around, their eyes fixed on the impenetrable forest that surrounds the highest terrace of the fortress city, 4,000 feet above sea level. Temple columns intertwine, with fingers of shadow, jostling for space on the ground, then retreating to the edge of the elaborate mausoleum built by King Diurpanus. Here he would rest side by side with his beloved wife when her long and beautiful life was over. Access to the crypt requires climbing the 37 steps and passing through the andesite portal carved in gold, which celebrates the legendary deeds of Dacian leaders. The large semicircular room has thick walls adorned with 7 imposing statues. 3 represent the royal couple's participation in public ceremonies, while the 7th, the tallest and most solemn, is dedicated to the god Zalmoxis. From here, it is possible to descend to the tombs. Silence greets the discreet crackling of torches, the scent of olibanum, the mystery of 2 untimely deaths, and a muffled, rasping grunt.
Cold. Too cold. Darkness. Too dark. Wings, too many wings. They multiply, intersect, and tie themselves together in a dull tangle. They search for space. They push painfully into the skull. There was once thought. The thoughts split into many others and then flew. They used to fly, and oh, they used to fly. They were free. The wings want them back. You have lost them. No, maybe not all of them. This is a thought about thoughts. The rustling becomes tingling, crawling in the ears, hearing, the chirping of a cricket, fields, night, order, putting things in order, swarming in the nose, smell, blood, incense and smoke. It reaches the roots and fades into the eye sockets, eyes wide open, tired, so tired, close eyelids. I can't. I try again. Push, no how. I feel them sticking up. I push, helplessly. Small contractions. Not enough. The gaze is fixed. Reddish flashes swarming in the brain and mouth, tickling the tongue. Voice. A word. Descends to the neck. The throat is torn. Pain. Death. The scream rises. I cry out. Where is the scream? I am the king. Now I remember. All of it, not relevant. Thoughts can fly again. Is no one here?
The swarm continues to descend and expand by absorbing, gnawing and crawling. Arms, chest and back. The violent thrust that penetrates the back catalyzes the thought form and causes a dense, verminous projection to spill out of the chest. The emanation is a deformed, halved reflex of the lying, indifferent, motionless physical body to which it remains attached by a serpentine cord. A few attempts at control allow the caracole ensemble to stabilize upright in the air, dispersing some of the swarming of the shifting form. Terrified, he senses what is and observes vacantly what was.
I remember now. All of it. It doesn't matter. Thoughts can fly again. Is no one here to accompany me? Not even a tear was shed over my grave. Have they killed me? My dove, where are you? Have they killed you too?
He cannot turn his head, which, doubled in volume and fused to his neck as it is, shows the seething open wound of blackish blood on which the fireworms that make up the tissue structure of his wanderer greedily feed. They are sarcophagus, with a brown caruncula and a tiny pseudo-human head, equipped with a mouth cavity adorned with 3 rows of sharp teeth, from which they emit a muffled, laid-back grunt. The bristles that cover the little bodies, originally white, pointed and poisonous, are shot like arrows at anyone who crosses their horizon. Now they too, like anchoring harpoons and spores, are impregnated with purulent matter. Born a few days ago from a mother who emerged from the dark abyss, they have answered an inescapable call by overcoming all physical obstacles to reach their destination. There are hundreds of them, each with highly developed sensory organs. 4 bare eyes, growth and antennae. The otherness learns to control the disjointed movements of its mass and, by means of a double opposing impulse, manages to rotate it in order to maintain the necessary balance. 30 paces away, the sarcophagus of the most beautiful of the beauties, which, by the priest's express advice, was left open, contains only the sumptuous golden robe worn on the day of the funeral. But he does not see this and makes a heartfelt plea to her.
I cannot approach you, I cannot touch you. I do not want to defile your purity. Oh, my beloved, how I despair for you, for us. How do I want to lose myself, to dissolve in you, to reach out to you, and to beg for salvation. On the other hand, I have to suffer alone the Erebus that has blossomed and regenerated me in such a form of darkness. Vile. What source of vileness could have produced such cruelty? Why? Who killed you? My precious corolla, my fragrant flower, be assured of my vengeance. It will befall the wicked who stopped your throbbing gazelle heart. All will die in unspeakable torment. The infamous conspirators will rejoice, no doubt incited by my confidant, my counselor. Did he perhaps intend to become regent until our son, whom he surely wanted for himself, was old enough to rule? Well, that will not happen. I have returned.
To free himself, he angrily cut the cord funiculus that held him to the corpse. Thought abandoned him forever, leaving him lost in mad meanderings without familiar references. Attracted by the emanation of body heat and maintaining his circular motion, he crosses the portal as if it did not exist, to hurl himself at the first soldier on guard. At the center of the windswept clearing, the Draco resumes his mournful wail.